How geopolitics rewires money. The 10-minute history behind the charts. Markets don't move on numbers alone. They move on power. Because when geopolitics changes the rules of the world, finance translates that change into prices. Gold, oil, currencies, interest rates, these aren't just charts. They're a live scoreboard of trust, security, and control. And the most important part, the moves often look emotional, but they follow math, feedback loops, compounding risk, and non-linear shocks. Let's start in 1944. The world is still at war, but leaders are already designing the next global system. At Bretton Woods, they build a financial order meant to prevent chaos, collapsing currencies, unstable trade, and panic cycles. The plan is simple: create an anchor. Many currencies are tied to the US dollar, and the dollar is linked to gold. When money has an anchor, trust rises, volatility falls, trade grows. In math terms, this is a stabilizer. Reduce uncertainty, reduce risk premiums, reduce the cost of capital. Bretton Woods wasn't only economics, it was geopolitics designed to make markets calmer, but every system meets its limits. By the early 1970s, the US faces inflation pressure and rising strain on the dollar's role. Then comes a decision that ends an era. The US suspends the dollar's convertibility into gold. The gold window closes. This breaks the old anchor. And when the anchor breaks, the system becomes more sensitive to expectations. Currencies float more freely. Speculation grows. Hedging becomes normal. Volatility becomes structural. Here's the math. Remove a stabilizing constraint, and feedback loops get stronger. In an anchored regime, shocks are absorbed. In a floating regime, shocks can amplify. Now we hit 1973, the oil embargo. Oil isn't just a commodity. It's strategic infrastructure, transport industry, national security. When supply is restricted for political reasons, price becomes a weapon. So, an energy event becomes an economic shock. Costs surge, inflation rises, growth slows, and the market learns something permanent. Geopolitics can rewrite prices overnight. Mathematically, energy systems are not linear. A small supply constraint can trigger an outsized response because oil touches everything. That's why the price curve bends: small trigger, big consequence. By the 1980s, currencies are no longer passive outcomes. They become targets of strategy. The Plaza Accord shows what coordination can do. Major economies act to shift an overvalued dollar. This is geopolitics through the currency channel. Because currencies shape trade, employment, competitiveness, real power. Finance reacts instantly because expectations reprice today. In math terms, markets discount the future into the present. If tomorrow's policy path changes, today's prices jump. Next, the Asian financial crisis. This chapter teaches a brutal rule. Capital inflows feel like strength, but reversals feel like collapse. When sentiment shifts, money doesn't exit politely, it rushes. Currencies crack, debt becomes heavier, and panic spreads across borders. Because finance is a network. Banks, currencies, trade, and credit are connected nodes. In calm times, correlations look low and diversification feels real. In stress, correlations rise, everyone sells risk and hoards liquidity. That's network contagion. The system synchronizes under pressure. Then comes the euro, not only a currency, but a political project of integration. A shared currency reduces internal friction and deepens trade, but it also creates trade-offs. One monetary policy must serve many economies with different needs. Mathematically, it's like one control knob, managing multiple machines with different loads. When shocks are asymmetric, tension builds. Now the modern era, sanctions and payment networks. In a globalized system, power can act through the financial plumbing, access, settlement, reserves, and messaging networks. When key nodes lose access, flows reroute but with friction. Higher costs, slower transactions, more risk. That changes trade patterns and reshapes alliances. And again, the math is clear. Constrain a network and the system doesn't stop, it adapts. But adaptation has a price. So here's the lesson. Bretton Woods built stability through rules. 1971 broke the anchor. Oil proved supply is power. Currency coordination proved policy moves markets. Crises proved networks spread stress. And sanctions proved payments are strategic terrain. Prices are not just numbers, They are geopolitics, processed by finance, and explained by math. If you want to read markets, don't just watch charts, watch the world.